This is Danny Marie. She has serious concerns and complaints, very characteristic of those that have a job. Keep watching as you'll see that your path to freedom begins with a 5-word phrase.
Today's my last day.
In this world, there is time and there is money, two things that we all can't seem to get enough of. And when this lack occurs, internal anarchy ensues, which then turns into external anarchy, which then turns into a video on Job Zombie. The frustration persists as inflation continues to drive prices up to absurd levels. Employees seem to be the suffering ones as their wages are capped, while the cost of living isn't. Not only are their wages stunted, but their employers are constantly looking at ways to cut costs. And history's common method for that is through workforce reduction. Allow us the moment right now to play this video of this lady's experience walking into a Dollar General.
So I have decided to make lemonade out of lemons. I'm going to go up here and organize some shelves at the Dollar General. I've gone to the same one now 3 times. This will be my 3rd time in a row. And the first 2 times I went, it was the same lady working there. There was one person working that whole store. I don't know how did they get away with that? How did they get away with expecting one damn person to run that whole store? Anyway, it was just one lady, and she was just over it. Like, she is just, her whole face, it was just the epitome of, what now?
Stores like Dollar General are a magnet in an inflated economy. With well over 20,000 stores in the U.S., they're the largest retailer in terms of retail outlet locations. Sales figures for 2024 show that revenue for the company eclipsed $40 billion, a very healthy figure. The more concerning part, however, is the average salary for retail operation workers, which is $11.77, according to payscale.com. This figure is rather low for sustainable living. It could be the very reason we have ticked off people flooding TikTok. For example,
I showed up to this job, right? Tell me why I'm the only one that showed up today. The only one. I'm not supposed to be in here by myself. I'm the only person who showed up to work today, so guess what? If my cashier is not here in the next 10 minutes, I'm closing down this store. I'm not running this store by myself. I'm not doing that. Not again. I had to do this one time before and cussed out almost every customer who came through here because they were not understanding. I'm the only one in here. I can't stock the shelves, run the register, manage the shift all by my self without people having to use self-checkout. And people want to be, well, you get paid to do that. That's her job. Let her ring you up. I barely get paid enough to show up. Barely get paid enough for that. Today's my last day.
Danny's tirade is just another example of overworked, underpaid. This is happening to the workforce globally, but to save you the time of creating a viral rant, we instead feel strongly inclined to provide you 3 effective strategies to avoid being overworked and underpaid. Taking a page from our personal lives, we need to set and maintain clear boundaries. We get it, your employer may end up firing you and replacing you if you don't go above and beyond, but that's okay. You at least know where they stand, and that is, they don't care about your well-being. Would you want to work for somebody that doesn't care about you? We know most employers don't care, which is why we preach getting out of being an employee. But for those unable to leave their employer, Job Zombie has provided you with a free guide on how to survive employment. The link is in the description or at jobzombie.com. What employers need to hear from you is your clear boundaries for your availability and working hours. Have the employer provide to you your regular duties and obligations in writing if possible. It's common for superiors to slap a myriad of duties on new or young employees, or, like in Danny's case, expect them to fend for themselves. But this is where the ability to stand on your principles and refuse the extra workload should be exercised. If you took notice, she clearly said that her being left alone for a shift has happened before. Not judging this employee, but she shouldn't have worked that day and closed the store down rather than risk her health and safety. The problem with her accepting that shift where she was all alone in the past sets up a precedent for her future because now her employer sees that she can handle that experience and is not at all afraid to have her alone in the store by herself. Also, unless it's required by your employer, disable work alerts after hours and refrain from accessing your email. If you are often working above your scheduled hours, make a note of it and talk to the boss about it at the appropriate time, which is right away. Now, this next strategy requires a little homework before applications are submitted and before roles are accepted, but that is to research market rates and engage in proactive negotiations. What does that even mean? Well, search the countless number of online tools to examine pay ranges for your position, experience level, and skill set. Now, entry-level jobs like at Dollar General are going to have set wages, but know your worth as a similar job may pay more and not require you to be the only one working. Highlight your accomplishments, successful projects, and positive feedback. Set up recurring pay reviews with your manager and provide specific examples of your worth. Don't wait for annual reviews, they never happen. If you've taken on significant new responsibilities or developed valuable skills, request a meeting to discuss adjusting your salary. If your employer refuses to pay you fairly, be ready to hunt for other, we hate to say it, jobs. Employers make investments all the time with the aim of increasing profits. They also make operational cuts to decrease spending. Employees, unfortunately, in many companies are not considered assets, but rather an expense, which is the big reason why Miss Marie was found working alone in the store, which is also the reason why it is important for people to invest in your own professional development and marketability. Continue improving your sought-after talents in your profession by getting certified, going to training workshops, or working on side ventures. Through online forums and industry events, cultivate a solid professional network. Make sure your resume is up to date and stay in touch with recruiters or companies following up on your application, as well as staying up to date with company events. This gives you leverage in negotiations and ensures you have options if your current position gets cut. Think about switching to higher paying positions or industries that place a higher value on your time and abilities. Are you a person that struggles with setting employer boundaries? How long does it take you to reach your tipping point? Write to us in the comments, but don't leave just yet without first subscribing to the channel so you can be an official supporter of the Job Zombie movement. And, as always, thanks for watching.